I never imagined my life would take this turn, not in a million years. My wife and I had been married for 6 years, solid, or so I thought. We had our routines, our inside jokes, our shared dreams, but if I had to pinpoint when things started shifting, I guess it was subtle at first. I worked in IT, long hours but good money. My wife, Lisa, was a nurse. Our schedules rarely lined up, which, looking back, gave her plenty of time to build a second life. But I didn't know that then. The day it all started unraveling, I came home after a long shift to an eerily quiet house. Lisa wasn't there. Her usual clutter, purse, keys, the shoes she always kicked off by the door was missing. At first, I wasn't worried. Maybe she picked up an extra shift or went to her sister's place. But when I checked my phone, there were no texts. I called, straight to voicemail. Then I went upstairs. Her closet was nearly empty. Her toothbrush, gone. I checked the bathroom drawers, my hands shaking. Makeup, hairbrush, missing. I remember sinking onto the bed, my mind refusing to process what my eyes were seeing. She was just gone. I dialed her number again, my breathing ragged. Voicemail. I called her sister. Haven't heard from her. Her best friend. No idea, man. Everything okay? Number nothing was okay. By midnight, I had called every hospital in town, checked her work schedule. She wasn't on shift. My mind started conjuring dark possibilities. Kidnapping, a car accident. But my gut told me something else was at play. At 3 a.m., I reported her missing. The police came, asked the usual questions. When did I last see her? Any fights? Any reason she'd leave? I lied. I told them no. But there was something small, something stupid, something I ignored because I didn't want to believe it. A few weeks ago, she started being distant. Not the normal exhaustion from work. This was different. Late-night texts, smiling at her phone, locking it when I walked into the room. And once when I borrowed her laptop, I saw a hotel confirmation email before she snatched it away. Work conference, she had said. I had believed her, or maybe I just wanted to. But now, sitting in that empty house, staring at our wedding photos on the mantel, I knew I had been a fool. A full day passed with no sign of her. 2, 3. Then on the 4th day, I got a call. The police. We found a man matching someone you might know. He's in critical condition at St. Mary's Hospital. My blood went cold. Who? I whispered. The officer hesitated. We think it might be your wife's acquaintance. Acquaintance? I grabbed my keys and sped to the hospital, my heart hammering. When I got there, the doctor pulled me aside before I could enter the room. Sir, you might not want to see this. Why? I rasped. He sighed. We haven't removed it from him yet. Removed what? He just shook his head and pushed open the door. I stepped inside and stopped cold. Lying in the bed was a man I had never seen before. Beaten, barely alive, hooked up to tubes. But that wasn't what made my stomach turn. It was the thing still lodged in his body, and that was when I knew this wasn't just an affair. This was something much, much worse. Lisa and I met in college. She was studying nursing, and I was working toward a degree in IT. We were young, dumb, and broke, but we had something real, or at least I thought we did. She was the kind of girl who made everything feel exciting. I was the quiet one, the guy who kept his head down and worked hard, always thinking about the future. She was the opposite, wild, carefree, unpredictable. I think that's what drew me to her. She made me feel alive. We got married right after graduation, barely scraping by in a tiny apartment while I took contract jobs fixing network issues, and she worked night shifts at the hospital. Eventually, I landed a solid position with an IT firm, and we started building something together. A house, a life, a family. Our daughter Emily came first. She was my world. The first time I held her, I knew my life wasn't about me anymore. Then, 3 years later, we had Daniel. Lisa wanted to stop at 2, and that was fine with me. We had the perfect set, a little girl who loved princesses and a boy who worshipped his mom. I wasn't a perfect husband, but damn it, I tried. I worked late to give my family a good life. I never strayed, never even looked at another woman. I didn't go out drinking, didn't gamble, didn't do anything but work and come home to them. And yet here I was standing in a hospital room looking at some half-dead guy with a knife still lodged in his gut while my wife was God knows where. My hands curled into fists. I turned to the doctor. Who did this? He hesitated. The police are investigating, but it seems personal. He was attacked in a motel parking lot. No wallet, no phone, just left there to die. I clenched my jaw. Do you know his name? He checked his clipboard. Bradley Connors. I had never heard that name in my life, but I knew one thing. Lisa had something to do with this. I drove home like a madman. The house was still empty. It didn't even feel like home anymore. It felt like a crime scene. I stormed into the bedroom and ripped open drawers, searching for something, anything. I didn't even know what I was looking for. And then I found it, a second phone, buried under her socks. I turned it on, and the screen lit up with dozens of missed messages. Bradley, where are you? Bradley, I think someone is following me. Bradley, answer me, I'm fucked up bad. Then one final message. Bradley, he knows. My blood ran cold. I scrolled through the messages. They went back months, maybe years. Photos, some of them together, in hotels, in our bed. I gripped the phone so hard I thought it might break. This wasn't just an affair. It was a whole separate life. And I had been financing it. I found credit card charges I didn't recognize. Weekend getaways, expensive dinners, jewelry I had never seen. She used my money to spoil him. She used my house to fucks him. She used me as a goddamn ATM while she built a life with this bastard. And now he was in the hospital, stabbed and left for dead. I should have been disgusted. I should have felt sick. Instead, I smiled, because whoever did this to him, they did what I hadn't even realized I wanted to do. At 3 a.m., my doorbell rang. I opened it to find two police officers staring at me. Mr. Carter, one of them said, we need you to come with us. For what? The officer exhaled. It's about your wife. My heart nearly stopped. Is she okay? The cop hesitated. We found her. Where? He exchanged a glance with his partner. Jail. Lisa sat across from me in the interrogation room wearing an orange jumpsuit. Her face was pale, her eyes hollow. This wasn't the woman I married. Or maybe it was, and I had just been blind the whole time. I leaned forward. Start talking. She let out a bitter laugh. You think you're the victim, don't you? I clenched my fists under the table. You fucking vanished, Lisa. Took all your stuff. Left me and the kids wondering if you were dead. And now I find out you've been screwing some guy with my money in my house while I was busting my ass for this family. So yeah, I'd say I'm the victim. She scoffed, shaking her head. You never got it. You never even saw me. That threw me. Saw you? What the hell does that mean? She leaned back, crossing her arms. You think just working and coming home was enough? You think giving us a comfortable life meant anything when you were barely there? I was a ghost in my own home, married to a man who treated me like a fucking roommate. My blood boiled. So your solution was to cheat? To lie? To steal from me? Her lips curled into a smirk. It wasn't about money. It was about feeling wanted. Brad made me feel alive. He made me feel like a woman again, like I mattered. I should have felt something, pain, anger, anything. But all I felt was cold. You say you wanted to be seen, I said, my voice flat. Well, congrats. The whole damn world sees you now. Her smirk faded. I leaned in, locking eyes with her. But here's what I don't get, Lisa. Why'd you run? Why'd you take all your stuff? And why the hell is your boy Toy in the hospital with a knife in his gut? For the first time, real fear flickered in her eyes. I hit a nerve. Before she could answer, the door opened and the detective walked in. Mr. Carter, we need to speak with you. I shot Lisa one last glare before following him out. The detective led me to a private office, shutting the door behind us. He rubbed his temples like he hadn't slept in days. "Your wife is in deep sorrow, he said bluntly. I crossed my arms. "Yeah, I figured that much." "No, you don't get it," he said. "We have surveillance footage from the motel parking lot where Bradley was attacked." I froze. "And?" He sighed, then hit play on a laptop screen. The grainy footage showed a man, Bradley, stumbling toward his car, looking over his shoulder. A second later, a black SUV pulled up beside him. Two men got out. One of them pulled a knife. Bradley tried to run, but they grabbed him, held him down, and stabbed him. Over and over. I felt sick. Jesus! But then the detective fast-forwarded, zooming in on the SUV as it drove off. The license plate was crystal clear. "That's your wife's car," he said. I went numb. "Lisa set this up," the detective continued. "And unless she talks, she's looking at serious time." I exhaled sharply, running a hand through my hair. What the hell did she get herself into? Back in the interrogation room, I stared at Lisa like I was seeing her for the first time. "You didn't just cheat," I said. "You didn't just betray me. You tried to have him killed." She swallowed hard, her confidence cracking. "Who were those guys?" I pressed. "What the fuck did you do, Lisa?" She hesitated. Then in a whisper, she said, "They weren't for him." I frowned. "What?" Her hands trembled. "They weren't supposed to go after Brad," she admitted, voice shaking. "They were supposed to go after you." The room spun. My own wife had put a hit out on me, and they stabbed her lover by mistake. The betrayal I felt before was nothing compared to this. "You tried to fucking kill me?" My voice came out cold, lifeless. She looked away. "I was desperate. You would have taken everything, custody, the house, my life. I couldn't let that happen." I let out a dry, humorless laugh. "So you decided murder was the better option?" Tears welled in her eyes. "I didn't want it to be like this." "But it is," I said. "And now you're going to rot in a cell for the rest of your life. I'll make sure of it." For the first time, she looked truly afraid. And that fear, that was the best revenge I could ask for. Lisa's words kept repeating in my head. "They weren't supposed to go after Brad. They were supposed to go after you." I sat in my car outside the police station, gripping the steering wheel so hard my knuckles went white. My wife, no, the woman I used to call my wife, had tried to have me killed, and I had been sleeping next to her, kissing her, telling her I loved her, completely fucking oblivious. The injustice of it all burned through me like acid. I worked for our family, I provided for her, I never cheated, I never laid a hand on her. And this was what I got in return. She had been screwing some guy behind my back, spending my money on him, and when she realized I'd find out, her solution was to fucking kill me? I exhaled, trying to steady my breathing. Lisa was going down, but not just for this. No, I wanted to destroy everything she had ever cared about. I pulled out my phone and started making calls. Nuclear revenge, step 1, freeze her life. Lisa thought she was smart. She thought she had everything planned out. She didn't realize I was smarter. First, I called the bank. I had enough proof to show that she had been using our joint accounts for her little affair, spending my hard-earned money on hotel rooms, fancy dinners, and even a effing engagement ring, see. And for Brad, she was literally planning to marry the guy she tried to have me murdered for. I gave the bank everything they needed to freeze all our shared accounts. Next, I called my lawyer. "File for emergency custody," I told him. "I want my kids protected from this psycho before she tries to use them against me." An hour later, the judge signed the order. Lisa had officially lost all parental rights. My next move? The house. Legally, our home was in my name. She had begged me years ago to put her name on it, but I had refused, saying it was safer for taxes. Now that decision was paying off. I changed the locks. Her key? Useless. Her clothes? Gone. By the time she got out on bail, if she got out, she'd have nowhere to go. Nuclear revenge, step 2. destroy her image. Lisa had always cared about appearances. She was one of those people who lived for social media validation, the perfect wife, the loving mom, the woman who had it all. So I decided to set the record straight. I took all the texts, all the photos, and all the evidence of her affair and emailed them to everyone she knew, her parents, her friends, her boss, even her coworkers at the hospital. Subject line, the truth about Lisa. Within minutes, my phone started blowing up. Her best friend, disgusted, her sister, blocked her, her mother, begging me not to take it out on the kids. Too late. Lisa was already dead to them. But I wasn't done. I took every piece of proof that she had stolen money from me, every fraudulent purchase she made under my name, and sent it straight to the IRS. Enjoy explaining that tax fraud, Lisa. And just for good measure, I anonymously tipped off the hospital board that one of their nurses had been stealing prescription meds for her loser boyfriend. Her job, gone, her reputation, shattered, her entire effing life, over. Nuclear revenge, step 3, the final blow. The next morning, I walked into the police station. Lisa sat in a holding cell looking like she hadn't slept all night. When she saw me, her eyes went wide. "Babe, please." I held up my hand. "Don't. You're not my wife. You're nothing to me." She swallowed hard. "Please, just listen." I smiled. "You should have done that before you hired 2 morons to stab your boyfriend instead of me." She flinched. I leaned in, lowering my voice. "By the way, you might want to call a lawyer. Your bail hearing? Canceled. The DA's charging you with attempted murder. You're not getting out of this, Lisa." Her mouth fell open. No, they wouldn't. "They did," I said, shrugging. "And just so you know, your bank accounts are frozen, your job's gone, your family disowned you, and the IRS is about to rip your ass apart for fraud." Tears welled in her eyes. No, please." I turned to leave. She reached for me through the bars. "Please, I'll do anything." I stopped. Slowly, I turned back. "Anything?" She nodded frantically. "Anything, just don't do this." I smiled. "Rotten hell, Lisa." And then I walked out. Lisa was finished. She just didn't know it yet. By the time I left the police station, she was already a ghost. No money, no job, no family, no friends. She had lost everything, and she had no one to blame but herself. But I wasn't done. Because Lisa had tried to have me killed, and I wanted her to pay for that in the worst possible way. The biggest betrayal yet. The next morning, I got a call from Detective Alvarez, the guy handling Lisa's case. "You need to come down to the station," he said. I frowned. "Why?" He hesitated. "There's new evidence." A chill ran down my spine. I had already been through hell. What else could possibly be worse? I drove straight there, my mind racing. When I arrived, Alvarez gestured for me to sit, then slid a USB drive across the table. "What's this?" I asked. "Surveillance footage," he said. "From the parking garage near your house, a camera caught Lisa meeting with someone right before Bradley was stabbed." My pulse quickened. "Who?" Alvarez took a deep breath. "You're not going to like this." He plugged the USB into his laptop and hit play. The footage was grainy but clear enough. Lisa stood under a flickering streetlight, pacing back and forth, talking to someone. Then he stepped into view, and my stomach dropped. It was my best friend. Jake, the guy I had trusted for years, the guy who had been there when my kids were born, the guy I had confided in after Lisa went missing, the guy who had sat in my house, drank my beer, and told me how crazy Lisa was. He was in on it. I gripped the table so hard I thought it would snap in half. "Tell me you're fucking kidding me." Alvarez shook his head. "Jake hired the guys who botched the hit. Lisa didn't set it up alone." I felt like I was going to be sick. Jake, the only person I had trusted through all this. "Where is he now?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. "Under arrest," Alvarez said. "We picked him up this morning." I leaned back, exhaling hard. Jake, the man I had called my brother. All this time he had been smiling in my face, knowing he was trying to have me murdered. The showdown. An hour later, I stood in front of a different holding cell. Jake sat on the bench staring at the floor. When he looked up and saw me, his face paled. "Man, listen." I slammed my fist against the bars. "Don't you funning man me!" He flinched. I leaned in. "How long?" I demanded. "How long have you been fucking my wife?" His eyes darted away. That was all the answer I needed. I let out a bitter laugh. "You really thought you'd get away with this, didn't you?" "Look, it wasn't what?" I snapped. "Wasn't serious? Wasn't personal? You tried to have me killed, you son of a bee." Jake swallowed hard. "It was Lisa's idea," I scoffed. "And you just went along with it?" He hesitated. Then in a whisper he said, "She told me you knew. She said you found out about us and that you were going to ruin both our lives. She convinced me it was the only way." I clenched my jaw so tight I thought my teeth might crack. Lisa, that manipulative, lying piece of sat. She had played us both. "Well," I said coldly, "congratulations, Jake. You threw your whole fucking life away for her." He buried his face in his hands, and for the first time since this nightmare started, I felt something close to satisfaction. Lisa was ruined, Jake was ruined, but I still wasn't done, because there was one last person who needed to pay. The final betrayal. That night I sat alone in my house, for the first time in weeks. The kids were staying with my parents until things settled down, and for the first time I let myself just breathe. Then my phone buzzed, a blocked number. I hesitated, then answered. At first there was silence, then a voice I barely recognized. "Hey, babe." "Lisa." My blood turned to ice. "You shouldn't be calling me," I said, keeping my voice even. She let out a shaky breath. I need your help." I laughed, a deep, hollow sound. "You need my help?" "They're trying to pin everything on me," she whispered. "But you know it wasn't just me, right? You know, Jake." "I know everything," I interrupted, "and I don't give a fuck." She was silent. Then, in the smallest voice, she said, "I'm scared." I smiled. Good. I hung up, and for the first time in months, I finally felt free. Lisa was gone. Jake was gone. And I was still standing. The past few weeks had been nothing short of hell. But now, as I sat on my back porch, sipping a beer, feeling the cold night air against my skin, I realized something. I had won. Not just legally, not just financially. I had won in every single way that mattered. Lisa was rotting in jail, facing attempted murder charges and fraud investigations. Jake was locked up next to her, charged as a co-conspirator. Bradley, the idiot she had replaced me with, was out of the hospital but had a nice long recovery ahead of him. I doubted he'd be so eager to sleep with another man's wife after this. And me? I still had everything they tried to take from me. My house, my kids, my life. The final move. I thought it was over, but then, a few days later, I got a letter from Lisa. I debated throwing it in the trash without opening it, but some dark, petty part of me wanted to see what she had to say, so I opened it. It was handwritten, the same neat cursive she had always used for grocery lists and birthday cards. Ethan, I know you'll never forgive me, and I don't blame you. I just wanted to say, I never wanted it to go this far. I never wanted you to get hurt. Bullshit. I thought I loved Brad. I thought Jake would help me, but in the end they both betrayed me, just like I betrayed you. I lost everything, and I deserve it. But you know what hurts the most? Losing the kids. I was a terrible wife, but I was a good mother. At least, I tried to be. Please, one day when they're old enough, tell them I love them. I don't expect you to write back. I just needed you to know. Goodbye. I stared at the letter for a long time. Then I burned it. She wanted me to tell the kids she loved them. Number. She had tried to take their father away from them. She had tried to leave them orphans just to save her own skin. I owed her nothing. Moving forward. The divorce was finalized a few months later. I didn't even have to go to court. Lisa signed everything over in exchange for a plea deal. She'd be in prison for at least 15 years, and when she got out, she'd have nothing waiting for her. The kids adjusted quicker than I expected. Emily missed her mom at first, but as she got older, she started to understand. Daniel didn't even ask about her. They were better off without her. As for me, I rebuilt. Slowly, carefully, I found peace. I stopped looking over my shoulder. I stopped wondering why she had done it. I stopped caring. Lisa made her choices, and I made mine. To live, to move forward, to win. And I did. The end.